One silent message from a vanished founder, signed with code no one can fake, could shatter the world's most powerful digital trust overnight. If the architect behind Bitcoin reappeared, the threat would not be only technical. It would force every system, every investor, and every government to question what they truly believe is safe. So what actually happens the moment Satoshi wakes up? A cryptographic signature is not a password or a photograph. It is a mathematical stamp, unique as a wax seal pressed into hot wax, and impossible to forge. If Satoshi wanted to prove their return, the ritual would be simple and public. They would take the private key from one of the earliest Bitcoin addresses, perhaps the very address that mined the first block in January 2009, and use it to sign a message. Anyone anywhere could check the result. The message would read like an autograph only the real Satoshi could write. It would be instantly verifiable against a public address known to the world for over 15 years. Some would demand more. A movement of coins untouched since 2009, a tiny transaction sent from a block wrapped in Bitcoin's origin story. Others would call for a second test, maybe a signature from a different early address, or a coordinated message across several old wallets. But the core remains. A private key produces a proof no outsider can fake, a silent act that unlocks a vault only the original architect could ever open. Around the world, screens flicker with the same message. For a moment, the usual noise of news feeds and chat rooms falls quiet. The proof is out there, mathematically unbreakable and instantly checkable, yet disbelief hangs in the air. People hesitate. Some stare at the signature, refreshing blockchain explorers, waiting for someone to spot a flaw. Others whisper about the possibility of theft or blackmail. Could the keys have been stolen or forced from Satoshi under threat? Forums fill with cautious posts, not celebration. Developers and skeptics alike scan for signs of tampering, searching for clues that the message is a trick. In coffee shops, trading floors, and quiet bedrooms, the same question lingers. Is this really the architect of Bitcoin? Or just the ghost of their keys? The world holds its breath, caught between awe and suspicion, as the certainty of code collides with the uncertainty of human motive. In the early blocks of Bitcoin's history, a single pattern stands out, a silent cluster of coins mined by one hand, never spent and never moved. Blockchain analysts call it the Satoshi pattern, a trail of addresses linked by their timing and technical signature. For over a decade, these coins have remained untouched, about 1 million Bitcoin locked away, their presence felt but never seen. In every market cycle, rumors swirl about this dormant hoard. It is not the number itself that unsettles, but the weight of possibility, a concentrated unknown sitting just beneath the surface. Traders and institutions watch these addresses like deep water, knowing that a ripple here could spread across the entire system. The coins have become a kind of shadow, proof of an origin, but also a reminder that a single actor could, in theory, move the ground beneath everyone's feet. This tension shapes the market's psyche, a quiet fear that never fully disappears. Exchanges operate with a kind of silent vigilance, always watching for signs that could threaten the system's stability. When rumors swirl about old coins moving, trading desks monitor blockchain activity with heightened attention. In May 2020, a small transfer from a wallet dormant since 2011 sent a chill through the markets. Order books on major exchanges thinned as traders pulled bids, and for several hours, liquidity seemed to vanish. Yet the official channels stayed quiet. No freeze on withdrawals, no emergency statements, just a brief nervous pause as everyone waited to see if the movement would grow. This restraint reflects a calculated balance. Exchanges acknowledge the risk of a concentrated hoard, but rarely act unless the threat becomes real. That event in 2020 became a case study in psychological tremors. A single transaction, without a word from Satoshi, could test the reflexes of an entire system. The legal gaze would not be far behind. Governments have a well-rehearsed script when digital money systems reveal a face behind the code. In 2007, federal agents arrested Douglas Jackson, founder of eGold, on charges of unlicensed money transmission. His servers were seized, operations were frozen, and the digital currency was dismantled. 6 years later, Liberty Reserve's Arthur Budowski was extradited and pled guilty to money laundering. Authorities confiscated hundreds of millions in assets, arguing the platform was built to evade oversight. Even developers who never touched user funds, like Tornado Cash's Alexei Pertsev, have faced arrest and sanctions for writing code that enabled anonymous transactions. Once a creator is identified, prosecutors reach for the same tools, subpoenas, asset freezes, and extradition requests. They turn technical innovation into a matter for the courts. The absence of a public target has shielded Bitcoin from these levers. Reappearance would hand regulators the address they have waited for. Proof alone has never settled the question of legitimacy. In 2024, a UK judge ruled that Craig Wright's claims to be Satoshi were supported by forged documents and invalid signatures. The courtroom became a stage for the limits of cryptography, and experts demonstrated that Wright's evidence failed basic verification, yet debates in the Bitcoin community only grew louder. Forums split over what counts as proof, with some demanding impossible standards and others clinging to narrative. Even when the math is perfect, trust fractures along social and political lines. Consensus, not code, decides who is believed. Today, Bitcoin's code runs without a master. The true test is not who built it, but whether trust can outlast its architect's silence. Some systems are strongest when no one answers.